So we already talked about strict liability in the products liability context, but it also comes up in the pure tort context because there are some times when you have an absolute duty of care. And even if you don't behave negligently, you could be on the hook. And we talked about one of them, which is products liability, the commercial seller's duty to the buyer or the user. If you're going to sell products into the stream of commerce as a general commercial seller and make whatever money you're going to make, you have a duty to the buyer or the user to have products that function properly and that don't create harm, and we impose strict liability on you because you're much better able to bear the cost of that harm than the one individual who happens to get unlucky and get the defective product. So in products liability, we say absolute duty of care, strict liability. And then the other big category is if there's an ultra-hazardous activity that you engage in. Maybe you keep a wild animal, or maybe you do something else that a court or a statute deems to be ultra-hazardous. For example, some states, if you own a pit bull, you are deemed to be absolutely strictly liable if that dog then bites someone. It doesn't matter whether you were negligent, it doesn't matter whether you were paying attention or not, it doesn't matter whether it's unfair, it's part of the statutory liability if you have that particular breed of dog. So here, the prima facie case is much simpler. Here we're only looking at was there a breach of the absolute duty, in other words, just did a harm happen, and was the harm caused by the product or the activity, and then were there damages. And for strict liability, there's no defenses available, so you can't say, oh, you assumed the risk by buying my product, or you assumed the risk by petting my pit bull. If you engage in this particular behavior that is subject to strict liability, then it's strict liability. It's liability regardless of fault, and you can't use the defenses of contributory negligence or assumption of risk.